Welcome back to Shenanigans with XY&Z. Today we'll be giving an honest review of the movie Saturday Night Fever from 1977. I'm Miss J.
I'm Lane Chanel Orlay.
I'm Jair Music.
And I'm Franklin.
That's who you want to be today?
That's why I'm today. That's why I am today.
Let's get started. I want to tell you first about the movie and give you a little background to what the movie is about. So I'm just going to basically read it as it was on IMDb. So it says, anxious about his future after high school, a 19-year-old Italian-American from Brooklyn tries to escape the harsh reality of his bleak family life by dominating the dance floor at the local disco. Of course, we know it has John Travolta. He was 23 years old. He played Tony Manero. Donna Pascal, at the time of the release, was 23. Fun little fact about her, for millennials or Gen Zs, she played the mom on Even Stevens. Karen Lee Gorney, she was 32 at the time of the release. She played Stephanie. There was Barry Miller, played Bobby, and he's also known from the movie Fame. And we had a 20-year-old Fran Drescher. From what I understand, that was actually her first movie. So, just a little background on the stars, and then Ann Drescher. So.
I thought that was her, but I'm saying am I looking at this right?
Thought it was her too.
I'm saying, am I looking at it? The one that she are you as good in the bed as you were on the dance floor?
I ain't even pay attention to her face.
I was sitting here like that looked like, and then the fact that it was like Italian in New York, I was like, oh
Yeah, that was her. So, who wants to go first?
they all had issues. That's my final verdict. I mean, gosh,
They were teenagers.
I know, with issues. It was like watching, I don't know, like you watch people on social media, like, wow, you got a lot going on. You watching it in movie form for an hour or 2 hours, like, hey, yo.
Well, hold on now. She wasn't no teenager. She was 21.
And that
She
looked
ain't
like
no
her
She
age.
wasn't really 21. She was just saying that to them. She
Yeah.
wasn't really that. She was older.
Oh, we never really got her age.
No, we never did.
I would say, so Tony, his family was crazy. His dad was an angry, bitter...
Broke man.
I'm not going to call him broke because he was working. He just lost his job, but he definitely he showed you what they act like when they, don't have their purpose. Like they can't provide. They start becoming insufferable. So he definitely played that role. The soundtrack was great. I really enjoyed it. That made the movie great. It wasn't a bad movie. It is what it is on the movie. His family, I don't think they had one dinner where they didn't fight. So
Very dysfunctional.
yeah, definitely dysfunctional. The mom, I mean, it was the 70s. I guess it makes sense for the time. What can she do? The club scene seemed like a nice time. Like, we need to bring that back. Dance
Definitely.
floors and stuff.
Dancing.
Definitely.
I love it. Speaking of dancing, watching them dance is very hard for me. Anything I watch, you gotta really capture me. She was okay.
She who?
Okay.
What's her name? Stephanie.
Stephanie.
When he first saw her, it was like, oh, she could really move. Honestly, I be doing that in my bedroom just for funsies. Like that wasn't very spectacular to me to catch nobody's eye. Nothing. I mean, it was people breaking it down on the dance floor, and I don't think Stephanie was. She kind of just she just walked in after a few beers.
God.
I'm sorry, it's mediocre.
I think she was just so special because she was just an older woman to him.
Right.
Like,
And there we go back to that. Older women are just
And maybe because she knew the dances, she knew more dances than some of the younger women that he may have danced
she better
with.
knew. She's seasoned.
It was mediocre at best because while there is like knowledge of dance, that's great, but like execution wise, I've seen better with people who aren't trained. It was just a mediocre thing, especially since Annette was killing it a little bit more than her, like giving us a little bit more, and he was a jerk to her.
Yeah, I was going to say that Tony was a jerk to Annette. They were just a bunch of trash bags all together, him and his whole friend group, and then the other one,
Bobby.
That was Bobby. Okay, yeah, Bobby was just, he was meek. He needed to find himself. And
He was just so caught up in his situation at, the whole movie. Once he found out about the situation, that's all he was caught up in. He couldn't contribute too much of anything else other than driving.
Not just the drug.
Go ahead, Franklin.
This movie, thank you for the introduction. This movie was peculiar. It's very traumatizing. I cannot lie. It is definitely a traumatizing movie. I like that about older movies because it's kind of like older movies are like deep cuts and they just show you just raw film. It just hit different after the dance scene. With, what's her name? Stephanie.
Oh.
I always forget her name. She got the easiest name. Dance scene with Stephanie and Tony. You know, the black folks, they should have got at least second place. Cause
Right.
I say
Nah,
the
Tony and Stephanie shouldn't even play.
Honestly,
not at all.
and I'm pretty sure they thought that scene was so romantic back in the day.
I'm glad he knew he shouldn't have won though.
Mediocre, and that's what I'm saying. Out of all his friends, he seemed to be the only one with a little bit of a head on his shoulders, because they were just wild. But he was just like, "Come on, y'all." At a lot of times, it's just like back in the day, they seemed to just hang out with jerks and keep doing that. Even like the last movie. Yeah.
Yeah, Tony definitely he got I feel like he got a kind, soul, but his heart ain't in it. He just want what he want. And he 19. And I was 19.
Really?
I wasn't doing that.
Were you 19?
After the dance scene, after the dance contest, they should not have gotten first, and he knew it because they came and they went crazy.
Crazy.
They went crazy.
They definitely should have placed first.
They still held up to this day.
To this day, it's crazy too, because once you bring that culture in the building, it's like, all right, now you see y'all really doing much. And I'm like,
And they were acting that way towards them because
Yeah.
they knew they were trash. But you can tell that the couples before them actually practiced. Like they were sitting there going to practice, and they weren't practicing. They were in there playing at that dance studio when they should have been practicing, and I could tell because they just swaying and spinning around the whole dance floor, and the other ones were actually putting in a nice routine.
That's what I'm saying. She's doing this in her bedroom.
And
It's like, I'm gonna go ahead and take this to the floor. Like, girl.
If he showed up with a net, they would have been
You know?
practicing. They could have did something. But and see, now I'm about to get into Stephanie because she deserves 50 lashings. I got 50 lashings for her right here. Lashing number 1, you about 30 something messing with a 19-year-old. Lashing number 2, she a liar and she a manipulator. And I knew
She
it when I
did
seen
manipulate.
it. She manipulated him heavy, talking about, oh, he's just a friend. What am I then? Am I just your friend?
Yeah.
Why you ain't tell me about man? You ain't even communicate none of that.
And then with the fake tears.
Yeah, she was like, it's not a teardrop.
Oh God! When I seen that, I'm just like, oh God, oh brother, Tony, run for the hills. And I knew it once you start talking about this happening at work. We don't care.
We know for
don't.
real. That coffee, when they first went for coffee, I was like, oh, she just likes to talk about herself. Like she's insecure where she needs to up herself, pick herself up. And it's like, we get mad at him for not going to college. Bro, you ain't even going to college.
You didn't give him a chance to figure it out. Maybe he's taking a year.
Like, dang, he fresh out
You
from
trying
high
to prove
school.
stuff to a 19-year-old.
Right, and that's sad.
And that's like, yeah, like, you good? Like, I don't feel like it really
compare
scared.
it to
Right, like,
to life. Like he probably was a year out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been out of high school, and now all of a sudden she's discovering this world. She has so much to say, but
nobody's saying she has to have it all together at her age. But it's like, you trying to make it seem like you got it together and bring others down when you really not up, girl.
And you disrespect him, and he still gave you a chance. That I just don't
He
understand.
lost his job for her.
Yeah,
lost-
just to be greeted by another man.
Lost his job for her, and she talking about I'm sorry.
no. At first she didn't. So at first she didn't even say sorry. She's like, "Oh, my job didn't have any problem. They let me out,
Right.
no problem." And then she had to kind of think about it, like, we haven't started moving yet. Let me say I'm sorry because I don't want to.
So let me not mess this up.
Right.
Let me get there, and
then gets to the place. It's a whole nother nigga in the place. Then he kisses her on the lips, and she talking about it's a friend.
I mean, they were just passing around kisses in that movie, so.
Yes,
He
the
can do that.
1970s,
He could do that.
70s,
80s. You guys don't understand that was nothing. Richard Dawson used to kiss people on Family Feud on the lips. Every single woman going
We
down.
know.
Everybody. That was
So,
nothing.
Like, PBGBs is passed
Cootie
around
queens,
to this
cootie
day.
Tony was a
Kings.
free agent. She was still on the D League, just trying to get back into the NBA. He was a free agent,
She was a free agent too. That man was
No,
married.
she was a bop. That's what we call it today. She's a bop.
That's
And
what he wanted to call Annette. The C word.
yeah, I hate that.
That's what she was though.
That's and that's true, and that's really unfortunate because it's like a situation where you got, like, hey, maybe he might, you might show up for Annette, and then, she's getting passed around by the team.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I mean, Tony, he was like, I'm sorry, I still think he was a bad person.
Anybody
Like,
was great.
Hmm?
I say ain't nobody say he was great. I
he
say he was
said he
better
had a
than
good
his
head on
friends.
his shoulders, but I'm like, I mean, to a
better
certain
head than
extent,
them.
he only was a good guy or act like he had some sense to her. But when it came to Annette, he was a trash bag,
Mhm.
and then he was talking to the other lady on the floor like she was nothing. And then his friends, he just joined in with what they got going on. He wasn't all that great, and it was only a matter of time before he acted a certain way towards Stephanie.
Yeah, he wasn't. And that's what I'm saying. He just was better than them. Like,
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah,
they're outrageous.
He's
And
not.
he was just like, all right. He's
No,
a
to
jerk.
sit there, I don't care. To sit there and let that happen to Annette.
No, for real. And then
Like,
go and
that's
be like,
what
I'm
was
sorry,
really-
I'm
and then,
sorry.
like, right before that, he was about to be on that type timing.
Damn.
Mm.
So, like,
With Stephanie.
Stephanie.
He
Yeah.
definitely has problems.
Yeah.
I didn't say, he got a little good.
I said
in
they
his
all got
spirit, or in his
issues.
heart,
it's
but
like, that's clearly something that just was a thing, along with every other thing, along with the slurs
Oh, yeah.
and,
They love that
You
F
know,
word, man.
mm.
I don't know what that's about.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
I mean, when you that young, everybody's racist. I'm gonna be honest. When you that young, everybody's racist. Even nowadays, like, little kids be saying, hard R this and a whole bunch. It's still common. When you're young, you just ignorant. You don't know how to stop.
Yeah, I wasn't too surprised about that stuff, especially back in that day.
Yeah.
Like,
It's 97.7.
yeah, I'm not surprised about the stuff they were saying. All those slurs,
Yeah.
the way they were acting towards gay people, I wasn't surprised, but it's like, I guess so. Like, that's not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, because I can definitely believe it.
Yeah.
And again, like he said, it's still going
Yeah,
on to this day.
it is still
So,
prevalent to this day. Her crying, talking about it's just a friend, that was definitely manipulation. He should have definitely walked away at that point. But he's 19.
Yeah,
he's
he's
still
not.
a virgin. He don't know nothing. All he know is just be a suave, cool guy, and you do this, and you the best dancer. Let Tony have a black woman as a dancer. He gonna change his life.
Was he really a virgin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who said he was a virgin?
He said he was. They say he was a virgin.
They who?
I
At
don't
the
think they
table?
said he was a
He was a
virgin. I
virgin.
think they just said that he didn't have sex with Stephanie.
Oh yeah, I don't remember him. I don't remember him being a virgin.
The friend dresser said, "Are you as good in bed as you are on the dance floor?" And his friends were like, "He's never been in bed."
Oh, they just basically saying it because he probably was like, only did it in the car or something like they were doing. I think that's how I took it. Yeah, I didn't take him as being a virgin or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's definitely some rookie level manipulation, and he should have definitely left her right there. When she said, "Take me home," I would.
I mean, but that made sense for the time too, because again, like women were just now, like not just now, but like I mean, kind of. They weren't able to get like bank accounts and stuff to like the 70s.
Oh yeah, it was the 70s.
Yeah, so like they're just now getting a little bit of freedom and kind of being a little more independent. So like she might have needed him to get to the next step more than like you think she would, and then she kind of just really like played into that.
The older guy or Tony?
The older guy,
Yeah.
the one
I
that
can
was
see
helping
that.
her with the job and teaching her all these things so she can know what she's doing at work and not seem like she's just
God.
a stupid.
No remorse, nothing.
I mean, you
Figure
just
it
gotta think
out.
about the time. Like, she could still definitely play on that, even if it was manipulation in that time. Because, like, it's a lovely time to tell me this, but like, I mean, it still seemed like, oh yeah, you don't have much. You're right. You're just now getting out there. Like,
And then you see how the tables turned when she got around the older guy and he was talking down to her and treating her like crap.
Right, like
the
you
same
shoulda
thing she
read
was
this
doing
one.
to Tony. Kind of like what they were saying in the movie, like everybody dumps on everybody, so you can kind of see how it was different. And you can see how she felt really stupid because the way the guy was talking to her in front of Tony, and then she was treating Tony so bad, like he was a Neanderthal or something like that. He just learned how to walk. That's how she was
He
basically
is.
talking to him.
and the tables turned too when she was treating him like how he was treating Annette.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Just saying they just dance and just like I'm not gonna do anything with you and all that stuff. But he liked that, which I think Annette should have chilled out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like she was just she was throwing herself on him. She
Yeah.
seemed like she was down bad, and it's like, girl, when she came with the condoms, I'm like, I know you didn't. Like that
That
bad.
was
And then
bad.
after all that, that, she still didn't get the crack. Like, dang.
Oh, she went out.
She went out.
That was definitely kind of traumatizing. It's really
Yeah,
sad.
it's sad though.
But
Like,
then it lets you think too about how when you think of somebody 19, like you said it, we've all been 19. When you think about somebody 19, you're like, they don't really know anything. You think you know something at 19, and they all seem like adults, and they're all out there living these adult lives, but they don't know anything.
I know
Like,
they
she was,
don't.
She was really like stupid, you know, and you could tell like when she was in the back with the first guy, Joey, and it seemed like when Joey finished inside her, that's when it like really hit her, like, oh my God, this is really happening.
Right.
Not
she
his
ain't got
post-nut
nothing
clarity.
going on. Like she had no birth control. Like where all them condoms go?
She threw him on the floor. Remember? She just kind of let him go on the ground when he rejected her, but.
Yeah, and she had no birth control, no nothing. Like he's the IOU.
That was hilarious. Like, whoa.
Yeah, and then the other guy just come right behind her, and then, you know, at this point reality is hitting. You know, she was taking those drugs and everything before they got in the car, and they probably had been drinking. She all hopped up on seeing him and Stephanie, you know, kissing on the dance floor. She just got all these emotions going on, and then like I said, it just finally hit her at that moment. Like, you're really, really messing up. And then maybe she thought too that Tony was going to maybe rescue her, but then
And he should have.
I mean, but then when he kind of tried, but you know, he didn't really try to rescue her for the right reason. It was kind of one of those things where I don't want you, but I also don't want anybody else to have you either.
I mean, I get that, but like once it came to like the second person and the switch off, it should have been like, all right.
I can't have it happen. Not in front of me. Even if that's like my backup plan. No. Y'all niggas gonna have to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he gonna go say something about her at the end of it, like, you know, now you're like, she should have took that heel to his face.
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't have said that, because he definitely could have done something to stop that, or just been a solid person from the get-go, and, you know, that would have never happened. But hindsight is definitely, you know, a thing. Her hugging on old boy at the end after, like, what just happened.
Right.
Like,
I'm like, hey, yo, I'll be out.
it's over from there. She's traumatized, and now she's trauma bonded, traumatized, and this is
This is the second time she didn't got scared with them on that bridge too.
she about to ruin somebody else's life. And
But the
her
thing
son,
about it,
it's
though,
dubs.
that I didn't like is that after all of that, he had that to say to Annette. Mind you, Annette really ain't do too much to him at all. She was still trying with him until the very end, where she was like, okay, I'm gonna just go talk to one of the friends. And then that happened, which was out of her control. And then he ran and went to go apologize to Stephanie. Didn't say a thing to Annette. Now, he did owe Stephanie an apology.
He did.
But I feel like Stephanie was paying you dust more than Annette was. Like, Annette do one little thing, you act like she the worst person in the world, and then you keep on chasing behind Stephanie, and she keep paying you dust until, like, you know, halfway through the movie. Annette did look better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I agree. To end off my opinion on that, it's sad. It's sad to see Annette go out like that, and he definitely should not be friends with them no more. I got beef with Tony, low key, and I got very, very strong beef, very grass fed with Stephanie.
Grass fed is crazy.
Grass fed.
Stephanie, what about the friends?
Oh, they did already.
Okay.
Yeah,
They did
there's
already.
all that kind of stuff. I hate that when they get angry when they're told no, because no means no at any point.
Mm-hmm.
Like she could have said yeah up until that point, and up until that point, no means no, and after that, you're out of here, buddy.
Yeah.
Because she was saying no.
She
by
was.
the time
That's what I'm saying.
Double J got back there, she was just saying no. I don't want to.
I don't want this.
Yeah, and he still was doing what he got to do. And the only thing he would say is like, "Oh, with me, she's crying." It's like not just crying; she's saying no.
She's saying no.
You saw what they just did. They just ran into a whole. They ran. Well, I get them running down on the Mexican dudes, but you know, old boy wasn't even sure. They ain't got no remorse.
Hispanics?
Hispanic, Mexicans.
No, they weren't Mexican. They were Hispanic.
Oh, Hispanics. Okay, excuse me.
We don't know what they were.
Yeah, they were Hispanics.
Yeah, but Hispanics, them running down on them. I get that, because you got to get back for your boy, but you know he kind of violated. But whoever
He
attacked
did
him,
violate. But wait,
Like
who knocked him down? Did they knock him down and he said that, or did he just drop his groceries and then they laughed or something and then he said that? They
We
called
don't
him
know,
grease balls or
but-
something like that.
You know how it go.
They were kind of basically, I guess, after he left him, they kind of started pushing him around or whatever, and they knocked his groceries to the ground and we just kind of like roughed him up or whatever. But he doesn't know. They don't know who did it. Really, it could have been anybody. It's New York in the '70s. Anybody could have done that. He
Okay,
just,
so he was just responding. He didn't just start no mess. He was finishing it. Well, they finished it.
that, yeah. Then, but he basically just said it was the Barracudas, but he said it probably was the Barracudas. He just put it. He just put.
They probably
Somebody
just
on
anybody.
it,
Yeah,
right.
They
It could-
probably said, I think it was this random black
yeah,
guy.
I think it was these people, but
He and Matilda.
Yeah.
basically, he didn't know who it was. Now they went and fought, and now they got beef with these people.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on because eventually you're gonna retaliate. They know who they are.
Now the sequel is The Warriors. See, you thought. See how this is what you started. Now y'all got beef.
It was
I
all
can't-
Tony's fault, right?
I can't stand when friends get you into stuff that you really don't even know parts of. Like,
Bobby was not meant for that.
no,
friends.
real. I mean, but you driving my car, you hothead, into somebody else's place. Now I gotta fight.
He didn't
Hey,
say
yo.
that. He
No,
didn't
I mean
say
he dashed, but he came back.
He did come back.
he came back.
that. Nah, they should have definitely chilled him because he had a dude hanging out his car. He pulled back around by the time that fight was over.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like he just up and left. He's like, hold on, I gotta get old boy off of me.
Bobby was the driver. That's what I keep saying.
Mhm.
The driver does not get involved in all those
Yeah.
things. They just drive. And when you're done with whatever you got to do, get in the car, and
That's what I'm
He's
saying. He
still
came
going
back.
to jail.
dash. That's it.
He's an accomplice.
Yeah.
That's it. And then think about it too. The way Bobby was, like he probably was okay, but I think that they were just using Bobby for that car.
Oh, for
Definitely was
sure.
just using him.
Definitely.
He wasn't made for that.
He got the wrong friends. He needed some friends who's going to emotionally support him because he got problems. But he's talking to people like how his friends talk because that's what he know and that's what make him seem cool.
Hey,
But-
it was-
As I said,
Hey.
he don't know himself yet.
Yeah, he need to get around them people. You got a whole kid on the way, bro. You need to lock in and stay away from them goofballs. Cause
Yeah, you can't.
that's my verdict on that. I think it was a great movie. Definitely would watch it again.
revisit at
Yeah,
an older age.
revisit it at a different age when the trauma wears off. Mom, how do you feel about this movie from your childhood?
Okay. First of all, I do have a lot to say. First thing, I was in love with John Travolta. My cousin and I literally used to have physical fights about whose boyfriend he was. Now, mind you, I'm very, very young. As a kid, what do you know? You see a grown man and you have a crush on him. You don't think anything sexual about it. You think he's cute. He's gonna pick me up. He's gonna give me a kiss. He's gonna tell me I'm cute. He's gonna play toys with me. He's gonna tell me I'm cute, and then he's maybe give me a piece of candy, and then he's gonna give me another kiss on the cheek, and then he's gonna, just tell me I'm cute, and that's all you think. You don't think anything sexual. You just think, oh, he's very cute, but it doesn't matter. We used to fight, about whose boyfriend he actually was. But let me tell you something. I'm grown now, so John Travolta, to this day, you can get it. Just let me know.
Even when I was
Don't
a
send
hater?
him
John-
this way. Say no.
John Travolta.
Then we're
John
looking.
Travolta.
Then we're looking.
I don't
down
care
the
what
little
you say.
cone head he got.
To this day.
Wow.
To this day. Yes, John Travolta can get
The biggest plot twist would be you having him on the show next. Like, actually, we ended up married.
And
Hi.
listen, whatever happens,
head is still
happens. I'm
combed.
saying, wow. I really love this movie. Let me backtrack really quickly about this before I get into it. Just get something off my chest. Now, back when I was little, of course, I wanted to watch this movie. My mom would not let me watch this movie.
Oh,
Of
goodness.
course, I mean, just because of everything that was going on in this movie. I did not understand that. I'm thinking, why does she not want me to watch this movie? Why is she stopping me? Why is she keeping me away from my man? She's trying to steal my man. That's what I'm sitting here thinking. Like, my mom wanted my man, and I didn't appreciate that. So that's what I used to think as a child. Of course. I've moved on.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think that anymore. I did love this movie. I loved this movie for a long time for different reasons. And I'm noticing as I'm getting older and I watch this movie, I noticed different things. Back then, especially John Travolta, he was, big star. He was in some of everything, and had a pretty good career. So it was, it was a lot of John Travolta all the time. I thought this was a good dance movie. As I get a little older and I keep watching it, things change a little bit. I definitely never was into Stephanie. I didn't get it, but for some reason, I don't know who she knew or how she got to be the lead person in this movie, and nothing against the actress. She did the part very well, I guess, but I just never got what the appeal was. When I see Annette, I'm like, what was wrong with Annette? Why would you treat her like that? But of course, that's how it goes. Even with the dancing, I just didn't see for him to be someone known for the dancing and that to be, something that carried him all throughout his career. Just to have that partner, I just didn't see the connection. But nevertheless, it worked for the time that it worked for, and everybody's gonna have their opinion about it, but that's mine. So I felt like Annette was doing a whole lot in that movie. She just didn't have any real. If you guys could see, one of the cats in this house is acting crazy.
He just brought up his mouse.
He bought his toy mouse. I guess he's trying to,
get your peace offering.
His peace offering, because he's right here acting crazy while we're trying to record. But anyway,
I told you he brings it to my door. He came right up to me.
Right,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's been crazy.
You're not sorry enough, Prince.
Yeah, Annette would have had more self-esteem for herself, and she probably just looked at him. We don't know how far back into the neighborhood they were around each other, and she maybe always had this crush, and now she's kind of like the only girl in this little in crowd with these guys. And maybe she's kind of thinking, if she developed her dancing skills, maybe that would be something to get her closer to him. And there was nothing that she can really do to get him. And after that scene in the car with Double J and Joey, it was done from there. She really messed it up, and she knew it. He knew it. He was maybe getting ready to think of transition. Maybe Stephanie did kind of help that too, because she was older, so she can kind of introduce him to something even at the end, with them being friends. I felt like they both had something to offer. Maybe she can calm down a little bit. Then with him, maybe he can mature a little bit, because maybe she did have something to offer him. But, probably, if you think about it, like now, if they were to have a reunion, I'm pretty sure he probably has made amends with Annette. You think that in your mind, you would hope that would happen.
We are done.
You would hope. Well, look, he didn't make Annette do what she did. She was being a stupid 19-year-old. We don't even know if she was really 19. She was maybe a stupid 18-year-old, whatever. She was just being stupid.
It's just
Yeah, he allowed that to
it's the
happen,
condoning. Because, especially if he coming around with the same friends. I don't care. There's not enough apologizing you can do to make that
I would have
okay.
liked that in that moment for him to fight. Like, you would just been fighting your friends, because that's just not cool, period.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I don't, like I said, I think just because he wasn't fighting them for the right reason. It was just a thing where he just didn't want them to do it. It wasn't so much that he cared so much about her. He just did not want them to be the ones. I guess he just wanted her to be somewhere sitting around pining over him all the time. And at that point, when she was going to move on, it probably just hit his ego. That's what I'm thinking too. It was no real being a good person or whatever. Maybe further down the line he might have saw something different, but in that moment I didn't see that he would have been a better person to think that way. It was so much going on. I think he was just tired of everything in the whole scene. Later on, there is a sequel to this, Staying Alive, where he's maybe 5 years older or something like that, and he's pursuing dance and things like that. But that's for another time. Like, he was just trying to survive at that point. And everything happened in such a small period of time, a little short period of time. Even with his brother being a priest, and it was funny, the dynamic of his interaction with his brother. It seemed like when he was outside of his house, he was trying to be this man, but when he was inside the house, he didn't get respect as a man, showed a lot of immaturity, and even when his brother came there, he kind of turned into a little kid again. Even when he took him out to the disco with him, he kind of had that very, very younger brother with his ex-priest brother. And that was a good dynamic to see so many different facets of Tony. You know, he wasn't all bad, so you couldn't just look at him just as a villain because of, you know, how he was acting with his friends. It was, you know, it was kind of like up and down with your emotions on how you looked at him as a person or whatever. So,
You think so?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I think. Cause yeah, overall he was he was something else. You could see like sometimes just his heart and different things like that. And even with his mom, when he flipped out on his mom or whatever, he instantly just switched just like that. He saw his mom crying, just instantly turned into like a little kid again. On mom, you know, I didn't mean to say this and that. When he got outside that house though, especially with Annette, she was crying. He didn't
Right.
care.
It seems like he has to like really like. He's only nice if he likes you. He's like one of those type of guys.
Mm-hmm. Seems that way.
Which is
Yeah.
like, then
You're not really
a good
nice.
guy.
Yeah, you're not really nice. You're just nice to people like.
Yeah. But I will say, the movie was very much for its time. Just even the use of the C word that was used several times in that movie, and you know I hate that word. It was really kind of throughout that movie, and even when he told Annette that now she was actually one, and prior to that he asked her, you know, was she a C word or was she a good girl, and like you had to decide that very early on. So I think that kind of like, do you really? Kind of pigeonholes women to just think however a man thinks that she should be, and not who, you know, she wants to develop into. But that was, like I said, it was very much for the time. You know, a lot of the S word when they were describing the Hispanics, and then, you know, of course the N word.
He even called Stephanie a B word.
Yeah, B word, and then, you know, it was the F word when they saw you know, the gay couple, and you know, a lot of slurs. Funny thing about it though, when you being back in that time, like now all those things are taboo, definitely a no-no. Back in those times, especially using, you know, the F word, probably the only one that probably somebody would have really had something to say against is the N word. But those other words were kind of really norms. And like when they said the N word and the S word, were they being racist, or was that just part of their culture and their neighborhood and things like that? Because I don't know if I would definitely say that they were being racist. I just feel like they were just being
It just is
That's
racist.
what they knew.
part of their part of the culture that they grew up in or something like that. I don't think that was.
They were being racist.
That's
a slur.
It is racist.
Yes,
But it wasn't
yes.
like I guess as offensive. Oh, we know it's probably still offensive, but it just is more acceptable, I guess. Then it's in New York too. It's a little different up that way.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's so much as being racist, and they're like racist all the way through. I think at some point in time they probably would realize like, that's not cool. I just can't go around just calling somebody the N word or calling somebody the S word and think that something not gonna go down with that. Like, you can't. That's not gonna carry you all the way throughout. Yeah, you might do that with your friends throughout the neighborhood, but like, that's really not gonna carry you.
Right, to be saying it with your friends and then just calling them that outright. Like, I don't think they were like calling them that outright.
Right.
Unless they would like it was fighting words, but they might have had that that dialect with friends.
I don't feel like he's actually racist. Like you said, it's something he know, because he saw the Hispanic people dancing and he gave them their props. He gave them the money. He didn't even take their money. He didn't trade the money out. He gave them the trophy and the money. Tony was like, no, they're better than us. I don't deserve that, regardless of their race.
He had a little bit more humanity about him or whatever.
Even when the black couple was performing, they was talking about boo.
They were.
Now I don't know. I don't think was his friends doing that or just other people in there. Like,
no, his friends were too.
Some racism up in there because they weren't bad. Like, they just were black.
Not trying to condone anything or anything like that, but it's just trying to like just see the different layers to Tony and what he was going through and trying to, I guess, fit in and then trying to find his own way in his situation. You know, like I said, he had to deal with home life, the friends, and trying to keep them together, and him, you know, being a young man, and the women and different things like that. There was so much things going on. Didn't think about his career, who and what he really wanted to be. You know, just a lot of things are going on. But I did notice those things about the them using those slurs and things like that, which would not fly. And like I said, even when you think about it, back then, some of those things weren't even kind of looked at as offensively. Let's just say as offensively as they would be looked at today. That's just
that
opinion.
was New York.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it'd be a lot different in the South. Like, I mean, that's where you from too. Like, you were born, you raised up that way, so it might be a little differently than we raised down south. So it's like,
I still give him a bombastic side eye.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
right to this day, I'm like,
because I know if I was sitting in the theater watching that and I was, as an adult, I probably would still be like, really? So, my favorite scene of that movie is the dance scene to the song Night Fever. And I will talk about this in a separate video of my own, but I will say a little bit to it. As a person in that movie, I think the movie should have been focused on him. And I say if I was in the club, I'd have been paying attention to him all night. That would have been my person. I wouldn't have paid Tony Manero not 1 ounce of attention. Like, oh, here you dancing again. Oh, but there's hips over there. Yeah, the Night Fever, like, it's so funny when you watch everybody individually. Like, John Travolta, of course, he was doing the dance like he was supposed to do. I would even say Double J did a good job. He did a good job. The one friend who ended up getting beat up, and I can't think of his name right now. The one that got beat up.
with a G.
Oh, my God. He to me was like Alex Van Halen in a Hot for Teacher video. He was just getting through those moves. He was stiff as a board. He just get through this take, because it's all I can give you.
Like that one dude.
I'm about to say
he that was all he could do. And then Double J, I don't know what he was doing with that leg. He was just kicking that leg. That leg was flailing all over the place. But they got through the scene. I can definitely see why, even if there were some better dancers in there, why Tony Manero would look like he was like the greatest dancer.
You give Tony a black woman partner, it's gonna change his life. Mine on just 1977. You got the Jackson. You got the Shake Your Body album coming out in 2 more years. That's dubs. That's the end of disco. He can take over the world with that. Not really, but just
not really.
Give him a chance. Get his sister out there. Let him get a little rhythm, a little more rhythm.
I'm telling you, they let us dance. That's why I got it down pat. It's
Tony's
always
gonna
this.
be like, wow, I wasted my years with those guys.
He wouldn't have known what to do with her. He would have been all to pieces. He thought Stephanie had him all googly-eyed. He would have burnt his parents' house down. And
God, became a Black Panther.
He would have did something.
Do what he had to do.
Did something. He had a black woman. They had to keep him. They had to keep him like this. Overall, I still love the movie. It's something that I will continue to watch, and I don't know how my view will change on it the older that I get. But I'm glad I was able to share it with you guys.
Yeah, it was a cool movie. Like, overall, it was cool. Like, well, it was a good movie. The stuff wasn't cool, but it was cool watching.
So, what would y'all rate the movie? If y'all can give it a rating.
I don't like the way it ended.
Yeah, it did end kind of stupid.
It's just very abrupt. We don't know if honestly, we can only assume old boy died. I mean, I get it's a long fall and it's water, but like you got. I mean, I guess I get it, but I'm saying we got nothing else after that. Yeah, it seemed like they just had to hurry up and finish the movie. 7.5.
I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
And I think I'll give it an 8.5. Really, for the time frame now. Probably back then, I would have given it a higher rating, but I would think now, just for the nostalgia and for things like that, because it does have a lot of nostalgia for me, and just like I said, just being there in different parts of John Travolta's career and like who he was and how popular that movie was back in time. A lot of his movies were very popular. I think it's more for John Travolta. Night Fever is one of my, like I said, my favorite scenes. So if I could watch that over and over again, I would give that a 10. I would give it a 10 from there. But that's not what the whole movie is about. So I would say 8.5. So.
Sounds Sounds good.
Yeah.
You rated it?
Yeah,
She did. She
said
gave it a 7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she gave it a 7. So, we really appreciate you sticking around, hearing our opinions, and hopefully it motivates you to watch the movie and maybe put some of that in the comments on what your views were and some of the talking points that we had about it. Because everybody has their own opinion, and you know, especially now, things are so different. You know, just give us your opinion.
If you guys enjoyed the video, of course, leave a like, comment. If you enjoy our content, you can subscribe to us and hit that button. I'm gonna put a button right here above me today. not that. I'll put a button for you too. No, you can
Point at his button. Everybody point at his
no,
button.
because you're making me. I have to edit. Don't
Push the button.
No, let us know how you feel about Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. And I hope you enjoyed the Miss J you got today. Peace.
Goodbye.